Guys, we're now live on YouTube. Welcome to everyone. Good morning to those on YouTube joining us. This is our live pre-market show. This is something that we host every day in our Discord, Monday through Friday, where I go over my trades live in our sessions and what I'm looking for entry price, exit price, profit targets, and stop loss levels as well. So all real time. So if you want to join in, you can join the Discord at bullishboblive.com. This will be a morning show.
PLTR Palantir at the highs now, 97.50, down about 90 cents. PLTR.
Want to check that out? They're running a 25% off promotion for Trade Ideas scanners. That's the scanners that we use here in these streams. So it's really cool. No position for myself at this time. Being patient and waiting for my setup. And traded so far this morning BCTX and SBEV. I'm actually red on the day, but small. BCTX green on this trade, and it worked out to be a nice quick scalp. And SBEV, a couple small losses adding up. So last thing I want to do is continue to take those small losses as those are going to really adjust.
Find it for scanner alert.
Trading today. So BCTX will be on watch. I think it's a little bit higher quality than SBEV overall, but that being said, we'll see where the volume arrives. BCTX is currently on watch and using our indicators to aid in entry and exit.
HTZ 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 HTZ
LRHC exclusive to Benzinger. LaRosa Holdings tells Benzinger company reports 119% year-over-year increase in revenue to $69.4 million for FY 2024. Says company surpassed initial guidance by about $4.4 million. So LaRosa tells Benzinger revenue for the fourth quarter of 2024 increased 55% year-over-year to $17.7 million. Gross profit increased 110% year-over-year to $6 million in 2024. That's Lima Romeo
SBEV.
Charlie, LRHC. JMPR, Juniper Networks, achieves FedRAMP moderate authorization. That's JMPR. Letter J, Jacobs secures environmental services contract with the U.S. Air Force. That's letter J.
Ticker BCTX getting a small pop here, watching BCTX for a possible trade. That's ticker BCTX watching for a possible trade here. Ticker BCTX is on watch. Would like to see it stay above $5 watching here on BCTX. The high today was $5.75. No position for myself at this time. We've got resistance at $5.40 and $5.50. Would like to see it over that resistance. That's BCTX. We have filled the gap to $5.50 half-dollar test. The high today is $5.75. Waiting for a close over $5.40 and $5.50 on BCTX for confirmation and continuation. If we can close over $5.40 and $5.50 resistance on BCTX, I'm looking for those levels to then hold as support. Anything below those levels, I will stop out of my position. Looking at BCTX for a possible move to $6 and possibly higher than that. We've got a continuation watch on the Trend IQ. Our indicators letting us know that BCTX is on watch today for continuation. So we'll keep this in mind when trading. Watching BCTX here for a possible trade. Would like to see BCTX over 540 and 550 watching here. If getting in this position would be very high risk as we filled the gap to 540 and 550 resistance. Needs to stay over $5. Anything under 5 is considered bearish momentum on BCTX. Would like to see that it stays over $5. Getting a small pop, BCTX. And testing just below resistance, 540 and 550. The high today was 575. That's BCTX watching here. Ticker BCTX did have news this morning. Watching for a possible trade, BCTX.
HTZ.
AREB shares getting a pop here. Alpha Romeo
HTZ.
Echo Bravo. AREB.
HTZ.
HTZ showing a 120 million share float. HTZ.
Shares of Hertz spiking here. Hotel Tango Zulu. Hertz.
Showing a large float for HTZ. We'll get a chart in chat. And whenever seeing a large float like that, guys, that is a immediate red flag for me. So it just means that I have to mitigate risk by trading smaller size, or we'll choose to avoid. It is on watch for continuation. That's HTZ. But no position for myself.
Pershing Square Capital Management reports 12.7 million share stake in Hertz Global as of December 31st.
A 120 million share float on our trade ideas scanners.
That is Hotel Tango Zulu. That's a 13D filing for HTZ. Pershing Square. Bill Ackman taking a stake in Hertz, HTZ.
Still watching BCTX. I like BCTX's float size better than I like HTZ's float. That being said, HTZ is showing continuation as well. Needs to get over resistance. Seeing a cluster of resistance on HTZ through 474. So expecting choppy price action through 474 for HTZ. No position for myself. Watching BCTX for a possible trade. And BCTX is showing a 2.4 million share float on our trade ideas scanners. HTZ showing a 120 million share float, so a pretty big gap between those two float numbers there. So HTZ is the smaller, or excuse me, HTZ is the larger of the two floats, and BCTX is the smaller float. So watching BCTX for possible trades. Want to see it over 540 and 550 first, so setting alerts just below those levels.
SBEV. BCTX.
That's a 13F filing from Pershing Square. Just that one entry there. Hertz, 12.7 million shares.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
And avoiding a major loss on BCTX. Just waiting for our setup here. Want to see it over 540 and 550 before getting in. BCTX. No position for myself at this time. Will remain patient for my setup. Just being patient here, guys. Not seeing anything that's worth trading at this time. Don't want to get caught emotionally trading or bored trading. So just sitting and waiting and being patient for my setup here. The scanners will identify where's the value in the market. Our scanners are top-notch. You'll notice that they don't alert on just anything. They alert only on momentum type of trades and stocks. So looking for the setup that's going to match what I'm looking for here. That's going to keep me consistent. So our scanners, that's our tool to identify where's the value in this market. That's going to be number one. I then pull it up on the chart and use our indicators found at bullishboblive.com to aid in entry and exit. That's going to help me mitigate risk, and then it's going to be on me to stay disciplined and patient for my setup and disciplined to my rules, of course, to stay consistent. So it's a whole recipe for success. And it's not always easy, guys, but we do this every day, Monday through Friday. I'm live in voice going over my trades real time, so that will help others at times. And looking for, always looking for a high quality type of setup, but not always getting that high quality type of setup, right? Sometimes we come to work and it's just lower quality setups throughout the day, and that's okay. We just want to make sure we're aware of the conditions before trading.
HTZ.
We're mitigating risk by adjusting our size and stop level, or choosing to avoid to retain our profit on the week. So I'm green on the week and red on the day, actually. SBEV red on this
5
one
minutes
this morning.
remaining until the 8
BCTX, I'm
a.m.
green
late
on
prints.
BCTX.
Monitor the
Really
bid
just
and
flat on
ask
the day,
prices
but on the red
closely
side.
for the
So
most
just wanna be
accurate pricing
transparent here.
information.
Watching BCTX for possible trade. Right now it's gapping down. I want to see it back over 540 and 550. So for me, instead of being glued to these charts, what I do is set alerts below those key levels. So again, the key levels for BCTX are 540 and 550. So if, major if, we can approach those levels, I'll start watching for a possible trade. Until we get back up to that 540, 550 level, it's going to be more like a bounce watch type of play, like those bounce plays or dip buys. And those are very dangerous, especially for newer traders if you don't know what you're doing. That's not something that I love to trade myself. I'm really more of a bullish momentum type of trader, so I'm looking for that squeeze type of momentum that we all love.
HTZ.
But that being said, not every day is going to present a high-quality type of setup. So low-quality setups can still provide a high-quality type result. However, a lower-quality setup, I want to make sure that I'm aware of those conditions and, again, mitigating risk. That's going to be number one. So whenever trading low-float stocks, guys, mitigating risk is number one. Maximizing profit is going to be number two, but, of course, minimizing the risk is going to be always something that we focus on here.
SBEV.
Major red
HTZ
flag spotted.
is approaching highs. HTZ's hitting highs at 456 following news this morning. HTZ. This one is showing a larger float for HTZ. We'll share the news in chat. And whenever it has a larger float like that, what that is saying is it's going to take a lot more volume to push that price up and down. So that's going to be something that I want to factor in. So if I'm seeing low volume moves, I might see that as a sign of weakness. And whenever we see that lower volume, then it tends to come with those wide spreads.
HTZ.
The price between the bid and ask is pretty wide. So I want to be careful of that, as whenever we see a wide spread, we can deal with slippage on our orders. Meaning
HTZ.
if I go to sell and I'm thinking I'm selling it, say $4, it may slip and sell at $3.90 or $3.80 because of the slippage there, the wide spread. So I want to be careful of that. HTZ is now testing highs at 456 following news this morning, seeing resistance through 474 on HTZ. This is on watch for continuation above 456, and this is going to be higher risk as it's showing a larger float, 120 million share float on our Trade Ideas scanners. That's HTZ, testing resistance now 456 to 474. We'll sit out for the moment, no position for myself at this time, and will remain patient for my setup.
BCTX. HTZ.
Ticker HTZ is testing highs at 456 following news this morning. That's HTZ.
HTZ.
Testing highs at 456.
SBEV.
SBEV.
Major
SBEV.
red flag spotted.
SBEV.
We got late print.
SBTX.
These are
SBTX.
First scanner red spotted. Ticker SPRIN new highs.
SBTX.
Red flag new highs.
SBEV.
We'll experience those late prints.
SBEV.
These are orders that have
HTZ.
not been recorded yet. So sometimes they're not really going to translate to moves on the chart. So just pull up the chart and verify that the volume is there. Right now we're looking for volume. 8
HSAI,
a.m.
Hesai and Zeekr mark milestone and strategic partnership. LiDAR equipped as standard on
Position
Zeekr
for myself at this time.
007
HTZ testing highs 456.
NVDQ.
PT, that is Hotel Sandy Alpha
NVDD.
India, HSAI.
NVDD. NVDQ.
NV.
NVDD.
SPY new lows.
EOLS, Evolus,
No
announcing
position
commercial
HTZ.
launch
for
of
this time.
Evolisi.
We'll remain patient.
That's Echo
waiting for
Oscar
our
Lima
scanners to
Sandy,
identify where's the value in the market,
EOLS.
and not seeing anything right now that's worth trading. We'll be patient.
DVAX, Deep Track
HTZ
Capital, comments on
testing for
Dynavax
steel highs,
rejection of most recent
456.
settlement offer. Delta Victor Alpha X-ray.
BCTX alert set 440, excuse me, 540 and 550. Alert set for BCTX if we can get above 540. And
BLUE, Bluebird Bio
No
confirms that
position for myself. HTZ testing highs now.
Pyramid
Let's ticker
has not
HTZ.
delivered a binding offer and obtained necessary financing despite extensive
Find
it
engagement.
first,
That's
scanner
probably
alert.
Uniform Echo. BLUE.
ELAB getting a pop. ELAB on the scanners.
ELAB.
Pop now.
ELAB. ELAB. ELAB.
ECL, Ecolab announcing 5% surcharge in the
ELAB
U.S.
charts
That's
in chat
Echo Charlie
for
Lima.
Ticker ELAB. Getting a pop to highs 373, showing a, let's see.
PDSB, PDS Biotech announcing preclinical
a
influenza data to be
microfloat.
presented at Immunology 2025 meeting. Papa
ELAB,
Delta
excuse
Sandy
me.
Bravo.
Looking into this.
ELAB.
ELAB showing a large float on trade ideas.
ELAB.
I'm sure that is accurate. ELAB. We'll share this in chat.
HTZ. 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 ELAB. ELAB. HTZ.
ELAB getting a pop to highs
HTZ.
387.
HTZ.
Seeing recent resistance through $9. We'll expect choppy price action. ELAB
ELAB.
getting a pop here. Seeing news and sharing the news in chat
HTZ.
for ELAB. News is in chat. Testing highs around 387. ELAB testing highs with volume around
HTZ.
387. Charts in chat. News is in chat as well.
HTZ.
Ticker ELAB, pop and drop. Loss avoided. No position for myself at this time. That's ELAB. And back below where it started. We'll watch for possible trades, but we'll keep in mind this will be high risk on ELAB, seeing resistance through $9 and expecting choppy price action. Our trend IQ will show us where that resistance is. And right now seeing resistance on ELAB through 9. So we'll expect choppy price action. Doesn't mean there's not a trade to be had there. But if trading, I will mitigate risk by trading smaller size. So just want to be aware of those conditions. Watching ELAB at 387. Would like to see it over 387 and $4. And watching BCTX. Want to see BCTX over 540 and 550 before trading. Setting alerts so that way I don't have to be glued to those charts. And we'll listen to the scanner to identify where's the value in this market. No position for myself at this time. And so far seeing ELAB as a pop and drop, loss avoided. No position for myself at this time. And for some reason seeing a large float there on our trade idea scanners for ELAB. So that is going to act as a red flag. The fact that our trend IQ showing it is a quick trade or lotto trade is a red flag and showing recent resistance through $11.
Shares of
So
Hertz off the
red
highs
flags
now,
on ELAB,
442,
basically telling us to
up about
just
60
be
cents
careful
after
if trading or just avoid.
Bill
And so
Ackman
choosing
Pershing
to
Square
avoiding a major loss there
reporting a
in ELAB.
12.7 million
for
share
an entry
stake
elsewhere.
in a 13F filing. XTNT Extant Medical announcing
Ticker
secondary private
BCTX,
sale
getting a
existing
small
shares
pop. Would like
by
to see
Orbimed and
BCTX over
preliminary first
540,
quarter revenue.
550 for continuation.
That
That's
is
BCTX watching.
X-Ray Tango November Tango.
I think BCTX has a lot of potential today, guys. So this is one that I do want to watch. But sometimes
Company
what happens is the level
sees
is
preliminary
right. It just doesn't
Q1
have that
2025
breakout
revenue
momentum
growth of 18 to
until a little bit later in the
19%,
day. So just set those alerts.
$32.8 to
540,
$33.1 million. That's X-Ray Tango November
close
Tango.
over 550, $half
with that
resistance.
offering
We'll
announcement
then look at
and
$6
guidance.
as a target. Hold dollar test. We'll then have to hold over 550. So every level we close over 540, 550, $6, we'll have to then hold those levels for BCTX. Watching today, setting alerts, and no position for myself at this time.
SBEV.
And just a quick note there on the news for ELAB. It is positive and bullish news. However, the chart setup is not providing that type of high quality setup that we're looking for. So ELAB, good example of bullish news there, but not providing a nice move on the chart. And the reason for it, there's so many bag holders in that position. We just posted a YouTube video recently about bag holding, and it's being the, in my opinion, the #1 mistake for day traders. And I think that can be said for a lot of us. I think we all go through it. Bag holding is something that we start out doing. It's a beginner mistake, and it's something that once you start cutting those bags and start focusing on your trades and staying true to your stop loss levels, you start to see more consistent results. But no position for myself at this time. ELAB is a bad chart setup with good news, and we can see what happens following good news but a bad chart setup, a pop and drop there. So avoiding that loss. And really, our job is to assess the conditions and really assess, is it a high quality type of setup or a low quality type of setup? If it's a lower quality type setup, well, again, we can mitigate risk by trading smaller size or adjust our stop level, or we can choose to avoid. I'm choosing to avoid ELAB. Still watching BCTX, but not really in love with the setup unless we can get above 540. So BCTX, it may give some signs of life, these bounce watch type of plays. That's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for bullish momentum. I'm looking for that squeeze type of play, that squeeze momentum that we love to see. So we trade low float stocks. We're looking for them to move very quickly and capitalize on those that fluctuation in price. BCTX will be on watch, but has to get above resistance 540 and 550 before I can consider, and will be high risk as we are seeing some resistance through 575 as well. That's BCTX. No position for myself at this time. Alert set.
HTZ.
BCTX.
HTZ
Benzinger market
is testing
update.
just below highs 470. That's HTZ.
S&P
A small
futures
pop near
down
highs.
39. The Dow futures down 23. NASDAQ is down 260. Crude is up 53 cents at
TGL.
BCTX is getting a
$61.87.
pop. BCTX.
Natural gas down 7 cents at $3.26. Gold is up 86.10
BCTX
at
getting a small pop here.
33.2630. Bitcoin futures up 55 at 84,215. Coming up at 8:30, retail
In
sales
BCTX,
for
we'll take
March
a small lotto here.
at
We'd like to see it
9:15,
over 540,
capacity
550
utilization rate,
before trading a
industrial
little bit more
production,
aggressive. Taking
and
a small lotto
manufacturing production
BCTX.
for
We
March.
start to come back under 5.
Business
I look at that as
inventories
bearish
and
momentum. We'd like to see it stay over
SBEV.
$5.
The NAHB Housing Market
That's
Index
BCTX.
for
This is
April
very high
at
risk.
10
This
a.m.
is not
Eastern
a
Time.
A+ type of setup.
At 10:30, crude
Holding
and gasoline
BCTX.
inventories. At 11, at 1 p.m., the 20-year bond
Getting a
auction.
small pop here. We'll
Fed
take
Chair
profit on
Powell
this move.
speaking at 1:15 p.m.
Taking some
at
profit there, guys.
the
Out 90%.
Economic Club of
BCTX.
Chicago.
Quick
At
scalp.
4
out
p.m.,
90%
U.S. foreign buying of
BCTX.
T-bonds,
BCTX.
overall net
Ad
capital
here.
flow and tick net
Continuing
long-term
to gap up,
transactions
hitting
for
resistance
February.
540. Out 90%. BCTX.
Fed Schmidt at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Out 90%. BCTX is testing resistance at 540. Still holding my position. Close over 540, 550. I'll consider adding. I've sold out 90% of this position. Just taking a quick scalp to the 540 resistance. Close over 540 and 550. We're looking for it to hold over 550 and looking for a push to $6 on BCTX. At this time, testing resistance 540, 550 and taking my profit out 90% of this position and watching for another trade here. Green on BCTX. And we'll remain green on this trade, watching BCTX for a possible add over 540 and 550. We are testing resistance at 540. This is why I'm locking in my profit. Yeah, T-Bone, I'm aware of that. Thank you. BCTX testing highs 540. Excuse me, the high is 575. Testing resistance 540. Still green on this position. If you're green, not a bad idea to lock in profit. Took a small trade, small win here, BCTX. And I am now flat on the day on the green side, but really nothing to brag about here, guys. Trading smaller size on these lower quality type setups. BCTX will trade more aggressive if we can get above 540 and 550. And we'll have to hold above 540, 550 resistance. So old resistance will act as new support. Watching BCTX to possibly add.
OMEX.
And still holding a small lotto here. About 90%. If we start to pull back under 515, I will cut my lotto. That's BCTX. BCTX still holding my position. I'm out 90% and getting a pop now.
BCTX.
Testing 540 resistance. BCTX.
BCTX. BCTX. BCTX. BCTX. BCTX.
BCTX testing a major resistance. 540 to 550. That's BCTX. The high today is 575.
BCTX. BCTX.
30 seconds on this candle.
BCTX.
Be careful not to get caught in a false break, so not adding to this position just yet.
HTZ.
Want to see close over 540 and 550.
BCTX.
Holding my lotto, still holding here, just over 6%. If you're green, not a bad idea to lock in profit. Still holding on BCTX. Closing in 15 seconds. BCTX closing in 15 seconds.
BCTX.
BCTX testing resistance at 550.
BCTX.
Coming up at 8:30. In about
Added to
15 minutes,
BCTX, added,
retail
BCTX
sales
added
for
here.
March month over month plus 1.3%.
Find it for
expected
scanner
for
alert.
Retail sales
540
plus
will have to stay above
0.4%.
540. That's BCTX added to my position. Testing resistance. at
ADTX,
550. That's
Aditech
BCTX,
subsidiary
testing resistance, 550.
Percenta receives IRB approval to initiate clinical study of blood-based diagnostic for
profit as we pop
endometriosis
BCTX.
and patient enrollment plan to begin in May. That's
Or we'll
Alpha
stop
Delta
out
Tango X-ray,
Under
ADTX.
support around 530. 530 is my support on BCTX, 530. Added into this dip, BCTX added into this dip, 530.
CTBI, Community Trust
Has to stay
Bancorp,
above
reported
530. Anything below 530, I
$1.22.
will cut. No exceptions. That's BCTX. 530 is my support. Anything below 530, I will exit. We'll take some profit. 550 test. We retest 550. We'll take some profit, or we'll stop out under 530. No exceptions. Finger on the sell hotkey. That's BCTX. Holding here, testing support.
HTZ.
530. Anything under support, I will exit my position. That's BCTX.
HTZ. HTZ.
Still holding here,
HTZ.
BCTX. It is testing support, 530.
HTZ.
Needs to stay above 530. That's BCTX.
HTZ. BCTX.
Major red
All
flag
out on this
spotted.
candle, BCTX all out. Lost on this trade, BCTX. Still green overall on BCTX, but gave back some profit. All out, no position. Watching BCTX here for possible trade.
HTZ.
And watching here, BCTX, watching. And again, would like to see it stay above 540 and 550. We're testing resistance 540 and 550. If we get above 550, I can trade a little bit more aggressive. We have filled the gap to the 550 level. 575 is the high. BCTX, watching here for a possible trade. Currently needs to stay above 520. No position for myself. Watching BCTX. Would like to see it over again over the 550 level. So watching here.
SBEV.
And no position for myself at this time. Watching ticker BCTX here, testing around a minor support. BCTX around $5. Anything under 5 is considered bearish. No position. Watching BCTX. Would like to see it get back over 540 and 550 resistance for a push to $6. Watching BCTX. Ticker HTZ is testing highs at 470. That's HTZ testing highs at 470 with seeing some volume here. That's ticker HTZ.
BCTX.
No position for myself at this time. Watching BCTX for a possible trade. Green on BCTX. Last trade was red to get back some profit on this one. I'm green on BCTX small and red on SBEV small this morning. So small trades will add up both losses and wins here, but want to be careful. Want to make sure that these small losses are not going to continue where I just wash out those gains. So BCTX watching for a high quality type setup. I think a high quality setup would be over 550 for BCTX, the $half test. Seeing resistance at 540 and 550. Would like to see it above those levels first before trading again BCTX. Watching BCTX for a possible trade. Would like to see it back over resistance. Watching here. I would like to see BCTX back over 540 and 550 first. Watching here. May add if we get over 540, but don't want to trade aggressive until we get over 550. That's BCTX. No position for myself at this time. Will remain patient for my setup. Watching on BCTX. Alert set below 540 and 550.
BCTX.
BCTX getting a pop now. BCTX. Testing resistance 540. Taking a starter in BCTX here, small size. If we get over 550, may add to the position. That's BCTX in a starter. And this is high risk, guys, so trading smaller size. Under 525, I will cut, no exceptions. Taking a starter here at BCTX. Over 550, I will add a little bit more aggressive here. So waiting for that to get over the 550 resistance. The high today is 575. That's BCTX.
PGR Progressive
If we start to come under
reporting
525, I will cut, no exceptions.
Q1 earnings
That's
of
BCTX. Under 525, I will
$4.35.
cut.
The estimate was $4.78.
Finger on the sell hotkey, BCTX. Want to see it stay over 540 and struggling to do so here. All out, no position. BCTX all out. Watching for it to get back over 540. Again, we'll take a starter over 540. We'll add aggressive over 550. No position for myself. All out. BCTX.
That's
And
Papa
watching
Golf
here,
Romeo.
No position for myself at this time.
That's $4.37 short of the $4.78 estimate for PGR.
Still watching BCTX. Still watching here. Currently under the 540. Want to see it at least over 540 before trading long, and would love to see it over 550 to trade aggressive. That's BCTX. So smaller trades under 550 and will be high risk. Want to mitigate risk by trading smaller size. Want to keep in mind, too, guys, that small losses will add up, so want to be careful of that. So watching BCTX here for a possible trade. High quality setups over 550. Low quality setup over 540. Watching here.
Mura.
So for a lackluster type of pre-market, guys, on my end, sitting flat on the day on BCTX and SPEV, looking for a high-quality type of setup, and right now trading lower quality type setups. Green on the week and looking to retain that profit using my cushion from this week to take trades. BCTX is on watch.
BCTX.
Really want to see BCTX over 550 as we have filled the gap to the 550 half-dollar test. Closed over 550, we're looking at $6 as a possible target. That's BCTX watching here. We'll add to a position if we can get over 540. We'll be high risk at the 540 level, and we'll trade a little bit more aggressive if we can get over 550. That's BCTX watching here. No position for myself at this time.
BCTX.
BCTX getting a pop again. That's BCTX. In BCTX, small size. We'll take a trade here, BCTX, in a starter, small size. Testing resistance at 540. Next is 550. Holding a small size, BCTX. We'll have to stay above 525. We start to come under 520. I will cut. No exceptions. Very high risk. So trading smaller size, BCTX. Really just a do or die lotto here. If we get over 550, we'll consider adding.
Myra.
Ticker MIRA on the scanners. MIRA getting a pop with some volume. MIRA.
Myra.
Small pop. MIRA getting a small pop here. Two highs at 109. Still holding BCTX. This is high risk. BCTX under 520. I will cut. No exceptions. BCTX under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. 520 is my cutoff. That's BCTX. Anything under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. And we'll consider adding if we can get over 550. That's BCTX. Testing resistance at 540. Struggling at 540 and 550 resistance. And testing a support around 520. Anything under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. Holding BCTX under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. 520 is my cutoff. And we'll consider adding if we can get above 550. Struggling here just below our resistance. 540, 550 resistance, BCTX. Finger on the sell hotkey under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. Anything under 520. Finger on the sell hotkey for BCTX, testing around 520. Anything under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. That's BCTX.
Coming up, retail sales,
BCTX
month over
testing
month,
support around
1.3%
520.
expected.
Anything under 520, I will
Core
cut. No
retail sales
exceptions.
plus
That's
0.4%.
BCTX. Finger on the sell hotkey, BCTX, testing support
SPEV.
520. Anything under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. That's BCTX. Testing a minor support here at 520. Major resistance at 540 and 550. Really want to see it close over 550 before trading aggressive. BCTX. Holding a small position here on BCTX. This is a do or die lotto. If we get up to 550, we'll take some profit. If we close over 550, we'll consider adding. That's BCTX, holding. And finger on the sell hotkey. Under 520, I will cut. No exceptions. That's BCTX.
Myra.
MIRA getting a pop to highs now 109 on MIRA. Seeing low volume, getting a pop to highs 109.
Myra.
MIRA. Pop now. Hitting highs 109 for MIRA.
Myra.
BCTX under 520. I will cut. No exceptions. Very high risk here, so trading smaller size to mitigate risk. MIRA getting a pop to highs 110. And popping now 111.
Myra.
In MIRA, taking a trade on MIRA. BCTX will stop out under 520. Testing 520 now. MIRA needs to stay over 107.
Retail sales plus 1.4% versus plus 1.3% expected. Core retail sales plus 0.5% versus plus 0.4% expected. Month over month for March.
MIRA getting a pop rise.
S&P futures right now are fairly steady, down about 40.
And trying to get filled at the top of the move. There we go. MIRA out 90%, guys. Just over 4% of trade. Quick scalp on MIRA. Just over 4%,
VVOS, Vivos, to acquire largest sleep center operator in Nevada. That's Victor Oscar Sandy.
Trading with hotkeys. It's a little bit easier. MIRA continues to gap up here. I'm out 90% secured profit, just over 6% on this trade. That's MIRA.
NNE, Nano Nuclear
Find
Energy,
your scanner alert.
launches recruitment drive to build full-scale Kronos
VVOS,
MMR reactors.
VVOS.
That's November Echo.
Getting a small pop. VVOS. We'll get a chart and chat. BCTX
UAVS,
BCTX
Ag Eagle.
out of my position. And
Announcing
MIRA
a new CFO, Uniform Alpha Victor Sandy.
BCTX
SCHW Schwab
BCTX.
may announce a
Lotto
strategic
there.
investment in
$520
wealth.com
watching
to
still.
support estate planning capability for
BCTX.
investors. That's SCHW.
VVOS charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on VVOS. Getting a small pop here.
Major red flag
CDT
spotted.
Conduit Pharma announcing Andrew Reagan,
pulling
a
back
named
here, all
CEO,
out. MIRA all out. Green on MIRA.
replacing
and
David
red on BCTX. Red on SBEV.
Taplesy
small.
as
MIRA
the
is
CEO
only
of
green trade for
Conduit.
me.
That's
Well,
Charlie
I've had
November
green
Delta
trades, excuse me,
Romeo.
but
Charlie
only
Charlie
stock
November
on green on
Delta
it this
Tango,
time.
CNDT.
We'll be patient, waiting for BCTX to get over 550 before trading aggressive, or we'll trade
That's
smaller
a
size.
correction on
below
that.
level.
Charlie Delta
MIRA
Tango,
hitting highs at
CDT.
123, has a resistance at 120, and expecting choppy price action. All out of all positions. No position for myself at this time.
RXRX Recursion. Health Verity partners
No
with
current
Recursion
positions
to
for
enhance
myself
clinical
this time.
trial analytics with real world data. RXRX. HEES. Herc Holdings extends tender offer to acquire H&E Equipment Services to April 29th. That's Hotel Echo Sandy. TOPP, Tango Oscar
Major
Papa
red flag
Papa.
spotted.
Top Point reporting 2024 revenue of $16 million. Tango Oscar Papa.
RVSN.
UAVS.
Still watching BCTX.
Again, named the new
no position for
CFO.
myself at this time.
VSEE VC unveils advanced telenursing
VVOS,
robotic solution
looks like a pop
targeting
above
3
loss
to
of weight there.
5%
VVOS
reduction
position.
in
Seeing
hospital
low
nursing
volume on our
costs.
histogram.
That's Victor Sandy Echo. LOT
HTZ.
Lotus Technology to acquire 51% equity interest in Lotus Advanced Technologies. That's LOT. Lima Oscar Tango. REBN. Reborn China secures strategic mattress supply partnership to expand distribution across Asia and the UAE. That's REBN,
SBEV,
Romeo Echo Bravo November.
Myra,
No position for myself at this time watching BCTX. Would like to see BCTX over 550 today for a move to $6. That's BCTX. No position for myself at this time. And guys, just to be transparent here, I am red on the day. Just small MIRA made up. So some of that loss there. BCTX was green on but gave back profit. So red on SBEV small, red on BCTX small, and green on MIRA small. So really just small wins, small losses so far today. Not seeing
RVSN.
anything that's giving us that
Major red
price
flag
action.
spotted.
Still watching
AMIX
and being patient
Autonomics
here. Wanna
granted
stick
new
to my
European
strategy that's gonna
patent
keep
for
me consistent.
proprietary
So red
catheter-based
trades and
technology,
red
Alpha
days are
Michael
completely
India
fine as long as I
X-ray.
keep them small, looking to mitigate risk and maximize profit. BCTX is on watch for a high-quality type setup if we can close over 540 and 550. Watching here on BCTX for a possible trade. BCTX.
BCTX.
BCTX. Watching BCTX here for a possible trade. Testing resistance at 540. BCTX testing resistance around 540. I'd like to see BCTX close over 540 and 550. We have a gap fill to 550 on BCTX watching here. And no position for myself at this time. And seeing BCTX pulling back from our resistance 540. Again, struggling with our predetermined resistance 540 and 550 major resistance. Would like to see BCTX close over 550 for a push to $6. We'll have to, of course, close over the 550 mark. No position for myself at this time and just being patient for my setup. Seeing MIRA getting a pop back to near highs. 123 was the high today. Current price is 110. MIRA green on the day today. And looking for another setup here. We'll have to close over resistance 119 and fill the gap to 122. We'll put a note in chat for the key levels to watch on MIRA. Ticker MIRA will have to close over, seeing resistance through 143 and 150. We'll put a note in chat. 143 is the first major key level, and 150
BCTX.
key level there. Seeing a cluster of resistance on MIRA, so we'll expect choppy price action. That means if I'm trading, I will mitigate risk by trading smaller size. So again, just like yesterday, guys, seeing a lot of lower quality type of setups across the board right now. And so that's okay. We can trade lower quality type setups. Just want to be aware of that. I want to make sure that I'm focused on mitigating that risk. That means I'll be adjusting my size and stop levels if trading a lower quality type setup, or can always choose to avoid, right? I'm green on the week and looking
Myra.
to protect my profit on the week. So last thing I want to do is give that back. But that being said, I am looking for a high quality type entry. If trading a lower quality type entry, I will mitigate risk by trading smaller size. MIRA is on watch, testing resistance. MIRA. We are testing resistance on MIRA, watching here. MIRA testing resistance. We'll trade smaller size if trading MIRA. This is higher risk. Seeing resistance through, really through about 150 on this one. So expecting that choppy price action. And just by knowing that, guys, again, just adjusting the size before trading. Just want to be aware of the conditions firsthand.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
No position for myself at this time. MIRA testing resistance. Watching MIRA for possible trade will be high risk. We'll only trade smaller size if trading MIRA unless we can get above recent resistance around 143 and 151. Key levels are in chat. Make sure to set alerts below key levels to better assess conditions before entering your trades. No position for myself at this time.
Myra,
Ticker MIRA testing around resistance. Seeing highs this morning at 123 and resistance at 120. No position for myself. Watching MIRA for possible trade. This will be a lower quality type of setup, so we'll mitigate risk by trading smaller size, or we'll choose to avoid. That's MIRA. No position for myself.
SBEV,
NB. NB.
CMND, Clearmind, just off the highs now, $1.10, up 18 cents after the company announcing launch of its first clinical site for its FDA-approved trial to combat alcoholism. That's Charlie Michael November Delta.
Find it for
BTTR.
scanner alert.
Ticker BTTR on the scanners. BTTR hitting our scanners now, getting a pop. BTTR hitting highs 215.
BTTR.
Chart and chat for BTTR getting a pop now.
BTTR.
Charts and chat
BTTR.
for BTTR. This is on watch for continuation. We'll have to close over $3. That's BTTR. We'll put a note in chat.
NB.
Close over 3 today will be the key level. BTTR.
BTTR. BTTR. NB.
Forgive the typo here.
SBEV.
Major red
NB.
flag spotted.
NB.
Key
BCTX.
levels in chat now, guys, for BTTR. Key level will be $3, so it has a ways to go. So we'll be low quality setups below $3. That's BTTR getting a small pop now. And no position for myself. Seeing news on BTTR, we'll get the news in chat. And we'll send a brief description of that news.
NB.
And BTTR looking at a pop and drop here. 215 is the high. Again, seeing recent resistance through $2. We'll have to close over, or excuse me, $3. We'll have to close over $3 for confirmation and continuation. So low quality type of setups below $3. No position for myself at this time. Dodging a loss there on this pop and drop BTTR. Setting alerts below key levels. And $3 is that key level for BTTR today.
HTZ.
SBEV.
SBEV.
Ticker SBEV getting a small pop. That's ticker SBEV. Getting a small pop. The high this morning was 485 for SBEV.
Myra.
SBEV high today was 485. Current price is 437. That's SBEV. Expecting choppy price action on SBEV. I know I sound like a broken record on some of these, right, guys? It's the setups that we have. So my job is to really assess what we have in front of us and decide, is it going to be worthy of a full size trade, or is it something where I want to adjust? And SPEV is another one of those lower quality type setups. That's okay. We can mitigate risk by adjusting our size and stop level, or can always choose to avoid. I'm green on the week, but red on the day, guys. Small red today. Green on MIRA, but red on BCTX. And
Coming
red
up
on
after the close
SPEV.
today,
Looking
earnings
to
from
protect
AA
my
Alcoa,
weekly
CSX,
profit.
KMI,
So
Kinder
sticking to the rules
Morgan
of my strategy to stay
at
consistent. Red trades are
9:15
completely fine with
capacity
my strategy as
utilization
long as I
rate,
keep them
industrial
small.
production and
Sticking to the
manufacturing
rules is
production
so
for
very
March.
important.
At
MIRA
10,
getting a pop
business
here, testing
inventories
near
for
resistance.
February.
The high today was 123.
The
Current
NEHB
resistance is
Housing
sitting
Market
around
Index for
119.
April
That's
at
MIRA.
10:30. Crude and gasoline inventories. Fed Chair Powell speaking at
MIRA
1:15
testing
p.m.
resistance.
NB.
on Economic Outlook at the Economic Club of Chicago.
That's ticker MIRA testing near resistance 120 and near highs 123 for MIRA.
Myra. Myra.
Ticker
Myra.
MIRA getting a pop.
Myra.
That's MIRA getting a pop now.
Myra. Myra.
Testing highs 123 on
Myra.
MIRA with
Myra.
volume.
Myra. 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 Myra.
MIRA getting a pop. In
Myra.
small size,
Myra.
MIRA, very high risk type of setup
Myra.
here, guys. Again, this is a
Myra.
high risk setup.
Myra.
We'll take profit. We start to break highs 123. That's
Myra.
MIRA looking for a
Myra.
break of 123.
Myra.
Or
Myra.
we'll stop out under
Myra.
let's see, 120.
Myra.
MIRA is getting a pop here, looking for a break of 123 to take profit. Very high risk, trading smaller size. MIRA looking for a break of 123 to take profit. That's our high today. Taking some profit on MIRA. If I can get filled here at the top of this move. And there we go, guys. Getting filled. MIRA out 90%. MIRA taking profit.
Myra.
Out
Myra.
90%. Quick scalp.
Myra.
Just holding a lot of here.
Myra.
This is a higher risk
Myra.
setup. Out 90%.
Myra. 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 Myra.
Out 90%. MIRA.
Myra.
Currently
Myra.
up over 5% on
Myra.
this trade. If you're green on a
Myra.
buy, to lock in profit.
Myra.
Taking a quick
Myra.
scalp.
Myra.
MIRA
Myra.
is hitting resistance
Myra.
around 129.
Myra. 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 Myra.
Still holding MIRA Lotto. I'm out 90%. Will remain green on this trade. MIRA took profit break of highs there. 123 was the high. Current price is now 125. And the high is now 128. That's MIRA. Seeing a bullish vertical trend at the top of this move and getting a pop. Still 30 seconds on this candle. MIRA testing highs at 128. Still green if you're green. Not a bad idea to lock in some profit. Taking a quick scalp. MIRA and just holding a small lotto here.
Myra.
MIRA new
Myra.
highs at 128.
Myra. Myra.
Now 129.
Myra.
Spiking to highs.
Myra.
MIRA new
Myra.
highs 129.
Myra. 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 Myra.
Getting a pop here.
Myra.
MIRA 129.
Myra. Myra. Myra.
New highs
Myra.
129 being tested. MIRA.
Myra.
And happy with the profit here. Going to take my profit, guys. Locking in. So taking my profit, MIRA. I'm all out of my position. If we can get over 150, I may
Myra.
add to this position.
Myra.
I'm all out.
Myra.
MIRA, excuse me.
Myra.
Hitting highs 132, all out.
Myra.
Locking in my profit.
Myra.
Seeing a bullish vertical trend.
Myra.
So maybe
Myra.
a little breather
Myra.
here. Maybe a red
Myra.
candle pull back before
Myra.
it starts to get back to highs. Really want
Myra.
to see it over 150 today for confirmation
Myra.
and continuation. We'll set alerts
Myra.
below 150. All out, MIRA. Happy with the profit made here. No position for myself. Now has resistance through 133, then 150. Close over 133 is worth watching for another move here. Will be high risk. That's MIRA. No position for myself at the time. All out. And no position for myself at this time. MIRA pulling back from highs. The high today is 132. Current price is 125. Still on watch for possible trades. Just want to be aware this is a lower quality type of setup. So locking in my profit as I see it and holding a lotto in case I feel there's continuation. I really want to see MIRA close above 151 today. 150 and 151 resistance for confirmation and continuation. If we close above those levels, I am seeing a cluster of resistance above on MIRA. So expecting choppy price action, and just will mitigate risk by trading smaller size and adjusting my stop levels. No position, multiple trades, green on MIRA and locking in the profit, and flat on the day, red side, but really nothing crazy here, guys. Small wins, small losses. Do not want to wash out my small wins with a large loss. I want to make sure I'm focused on the strategy. MIRA testing highs now 132. That's MIRA testing highs at 132. New highs now 134 for MIRA. Continuing here. MIRA. No position for myself this time. We'll sit out for a moment. MIRA. Testing resistance at 133 resistance. Next would be 140 and 143. MIRA testing resistance. Watching here. No position. 20 seconds on this candle. MIRA testing highs 134. And no position for myself this time. Seeing resistance from 132 to 133. And next resistance would be 140 to 150. Using our 1-minute bullish pivot pro and our confirmation support resistance to aid in entry and exit. The confirmation support resistance will automatically draw those lines on the chart for us for those historical resistance levels. So very important using those lines, seeing that level at 133, hitting 133 and pulling back here sharply. The 1-minute bullish pivot pro showing resistance at 132, confirmation support resistance showing resistance at 133. So a cluster of resistance here, MIRA.
SBEV.
No position for myself at this time.
BCTX.
Ticker MIRA. Would like to see it get over 133 before considering any trades long. That's MIRA, 133 resistance, and seeing a major resistance around 143 to 151. So a cluster of resistance on MIRA will be on watch today for continuation if we can close over 151. So we'll set alerts below that level. No position for myself. Ticker MIRA testing resistance at 133. That's MIRA. The high today is 134. Watching here for a possible trade. We'll trade smaller size if trading below 150. That's MIRA. Watching here for a possible setup. Want to see it close over 133 before considering long trades, and will be high risk. We'll mitigate risk by trading smaller size. I am green on MIRA today, and looking to protect that profit. And I am red on the day, guys, but really just down a few bucks here. So flat on the day overall. MIRA was green on BCTX this morning, but gave back the profit and ended up red on BCTX, red on SPEV, and green on MIRA. MIRA pulling back from our resistance, avoiding a loss here, watching for a possible trade, no position.
Major red flag spotted.
And we've got about 10 seconds here until 9 a.m. Eastern time. Watching for our scanners to identify where's the value in the market. Right now, MIRA is on watch. It's where the value is. And just not seeing a setup, so sitting out for the moment. 9 a.m. Eastern time. Scanners will identify where is the value at this time. And right now, not hearing anything on the scanners just yet. Being patient.
BMRA, BioAmerica, announcing reverse stock split to regain NASDAQ compliance. That's Bravo Michael Romeo Alpha. NEM, Newmont completes
Myra.
its non-core divestiture program with sale of Akiem and Porcupine. That's November Echo Michael, NEM.
SBEV.
RONN, Ron Inc. secures and signs joint venture in Saudi Arabia with expected 90-10 financial terms as phase 2 of Middle East expansion. That's Romeo Oscar November, RONN.
And no position for myself. Just being patient here, waiting for the scanners to identify where the value is. And again, for those listening in on YouTube, you'll notice that our scanners do not just alert on just anything. We're looking for momentum. We're looking for bullish momentum. So we're looking for high quality type of setups. And not every stock that comes across the scanner will be a high quality type setup, but it will narrow it down a little bit closer to what we're looking for opposed to most. And what we do there is then pull it up on the chart. So the scanner will identify where's the value, and then we pull it up on the chart and see if it fits our strategy. And of course, we're looking for volume and price action in our favor. Using our indicators, the 1-minute bullish pivot pro, confirmation support resistance,
RONN trades on the
spotter,
pink sheets.
and the trend IQ. That's what I'm using for my setup here, using it on the 1-minute chart and a 10-second chart as well. So quick scalps on the 10-second chart and a little bit longer
NMTC,
trades
Neuro
and trend
One
trades on the
Medical,
BCTX.
reiterating that
anything that's high
fiscal
quality at this time, so we're
2025
mitigating risk
guidance,
by
November
trading
Michael
smaller
Tango
size,
Charlie.
or we'll choose to avoid these lower quality type setups. No position for myself.
Second round of Iran-U.S. nuclear talks to be held in Rome on Saturday. That's from Iran State Media.
Myra.
Ticker
SPRIN.
TSLA new highs.
SPY. NVDA. TSLA. SPY.
Myra.
Ticker
Myra.
MIRA testing
Myra.
resistance. That's MIRA testing resistance.
Myra. Myra.
We'll trade smaller
Myra.
size of trading MIRA, watching
Myra.
here testing resistance at
Myra.
133.
Myra. Myra.
That's MIRA
Myra.
testing resistance right at
Myra.
133.
Myra. Myra.
Major red flag spotted.
Myra. Myra,
Ticker
Myra,
MIRA testing
Myra,
resistance 132,
Myra,
133.
Myra,
High today is
Myra,
134 for MIRA testing their highs.
Myra,
Watching MIRA, this will be a lower quality
Myra,
type of setup. If trading
Myra,
a setup, I will trade smaller
Myra,
size.
Myra,
NVDA.
New highs now.
Myra,
MIRA
Myra,
at 137.
NVDA.
In MIRA, small size, we'll
TSLA.
take profit at 140. Looking for 140 to take profit.
SPY.
MIRA in small size. 140 is my target. We'll take profit around 140. So just looking for a quick scalp here. 140 is my target. MIRA. This is high risk. On MIRA, we are becoming
Myra,
extended.
Myra,
We'll continue looking for 140 as a target.
Myra, 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 Myra,
And taking
Myra,
profit here.
Myra,
90%.
Myra,
MIRA.
Myra,
90%. Quick
Myra,
scalp. 140 hit.
Myra, 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 Myra,
Out 90%.
Myra,
MIRA. Just
Myra,
taking quick scalps here until we get over a major resistance,
Myra,
150. Until then, this is going to be a lower quality
Myra,
type setup.
Myra,
So smaller trades
Myra,
for me, guys, and quick
Myra,
scalps. Taking the
Myra,
profit, 140.
Myra, Myra,
All out, MIRA. All out for now. Still watching here, MIRA. Still watching. All out for now. And watching here, MIRA. Still watching. And still above support. However, I'm all out, taking the quick scalp. 129 is support. Anything below 129 is considered bearish. That's MIRA. Watching here for a possible trade. Seeing a cluster of resistance from 140 to 151. We'll put a note in chat. Testing a cluster of resistance starting from 140 and all the way through 151. That's MIRA. Testing highs now at 140.
SBEV.
Back in MIRA, small size, back in small size. We'll take profit
Myra,
143. 143,
Myra,
looking for 143
Myra,
to take profit.
Myra,
MIRA.
Myra,
Stop out under 135, no exceptions.
Myra, Myra, Myra,
Looking for 143 as
Myra,
a target. That's
Myra,
MIRA in small size. 143
Myra,
is my target.
Myra, Myra, Myra,
Looking for 143 as a target. On MIRA, 143 is my target. And hitting a cluster of resistance here. On MIRA.
Myra, Myra, Myra,
Finger on the sell hotkey. MIRA, finger on the sell hotkey, testing support. And just under the 143, so just missed my mark of 143 target. Just by a penny there on MIRA. Popped up to 142 highs, testing a cluster of resistance. Looking to take profit if we can hit 143, otherwise we'll stop out under 135, no exceptions. That's MIRA, 135 acting as support, 143 acting as resistance. This is a lower quality type setup, so trading smaller size to mitigate risk. MIRA looking for
BCTX.
143. Finger on the sell hotkey, MIRA, finger on the sell hotkey. Under 135, I will cut. And looking for a pop back to 143 highs. We'll take profit if we can reach 143. Still holding, MIRA, still holding, looking for 143 as a target, or we'll stop out under 135. Finger on the sell hotkey if we pull under 135. That's ticker MIRA, still holding here. And don't want to trade aggressive here, guys, till we get over 151. So this is high risk. Under 135, I consider bearish momentum. We'll stop out.
AMD Advanced Micro Devices, company said on April 15th,
Looking for a
it
pop to
completed its
143 to
initial
take
assessment of a
profit
new
on
license
MIRA.
requirement
143 will take
implemented by the
profit.
U.S. government
Testing highs now. And taking
Myra,
some profit here,
for
guys,
the
Myra.
export of
at
certain
142.
semiconductor products to China, including
Being
Hong
filled
Kong and
small
Macau
here.
and D5 countries.
Out 50%.
The
MIRA
export
taking
control
some
applies
profit,
to,
out
applies
50%.
to the company's
And still holding here. We are
MI308
testing at
products.
resistance at
Company
143 and
expects to
struggling to
apply
get
for
above
licenses, but
140.
there is no assurance that the licenses
And
will
all
be
out on this candle, all out.
granted.
MIRA, all out.
Said that may result in charges
And
of
no
up to
position
$800
for
million
myself
in
at this
inventory
time. All
purchase
out,
commitments and
MIRA,
other
all out.
related reserves. That's Alpha Michael
Want to see it
Delta from
stay
a
above 133,
8K
but at
filing.
this time we have a cluster of resistance from 140 to 151. That is my concern. All out, no position for myself, and green on MIRA. We'll secure that profit. I've got about 20 minutes here until market open. No position for myself at this time. Green on MIRA, red on BCTX. So green on MIRA, red on BCTX, and red on SPEV this morning. And small wins adding up, sitting flat on the day. And really nothing to brag about here, guys. Small wins, small losses. Looking to stick to the strategy, stick to what keeps me consistent, which are going to be, of course, my rules, my patience, my discipline. MIRA, looking at this as a lower quality type setup, so not really in love with the setup that we have here. That being said, if trading MIRA, I will mitigate risk by trading smaller size. You know, this week, guys, has really not been hot. Last week started so hot. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just nonstop. It was just really great. We had, I think, JNVR start us off with went from $5 to $48 on Monday last week. So last week was a whole lot better than this week when it comes to our pre-market time anyways. That's okay. Not every week, not every day is going to be hot. That's just the way it is. We come to work prepared. We know exactly what we're looking for. We know our high quality setup versus our lower quality setup, and we're mitigating risk accordingly, right? So even if we come to work and there's only low quality setups, we can still trade those. We just want to make sure that we're focused on risk mitigation. We want to focus on these low float stocks. We want to make sure that we're not just throwing the kitchen sink at every trade. So focusing in on the strategy here, trading smaller size with some of these lower quality type setups. But again, this week has been really stagnant compared to last week in the pre-market session. So that's okay. You know, we'll have another great trade just around the corner. So last thing I want to do is, you know, oversize or overtrade on a lower quality type of day or lower quality type of entry. You know, suffer a major loss and dig myself in a hole, because then you start revenge trading and emotional trading. That's not what we want to do, right? To avoid the emotional trading, guys, we're sticking to the strategy. Red trades, absolutely fine. Red days, that's okay too. Just want to keep them small, right? Red trades are going to happen. Red days are going to happen. Our goal is to mitigate that risk, keep them as small as possible, and maximize our profit when we can. Right now, you guys are seeing me, a lot of these trades that I'm taking this morning are quick scalps. The reason they're quick scalps in, out really quickly here is because that we have lower quality types of setups. So I'm not really trusting the setups that we have in front of us. So that's why I'm trading the way I am. So I trade accordingly to, or according to the setups that we have in front of us. So if it's low
Major
quality,
red flag
okay,
spotted.
we can mitigate risk. If it's high quality, okay, we can be a little bit more aggressive in our style of trading. Yeah, I'm seeing that too, Scorp. Yeah, I think this is just that week, and I think that, you know, we have a short week. Friday is off for trading. We have Good Friday on Friday. We've got Easter this Sunday, so we've got a short week. I think that's part of it. But again, you know, it's hard for us as traders. We don't have a magic wand. That's the one thing we cannot control as a day trader is you know, controlling the setups that we have presented to us. We don't know if they're going to post news that day, if we're going to get volume in the right size float. There's a number of factors that need to fall into place for us to have a high quality type of setup. And right now we're just not seeing that. So that's completely fine. We just want to be aware of that. So that's our job as traders, is to be aware of the conditions that we have in front of us and trade accordingly, right? So I think that if we've got a slower week this week, maybe next week will be hot, right? Last week was extremely hot, and we never really know when it will be hot versus when it will not be. So we just trade what's in front of us. The scanner will, again, identify where the value is in the market. So that's going to be our radar to identify what stocks are possible for trading. And then from there, we pull it up on the chart. We then see, does it have volume? Does it have the price action we're looking for? Does it have recent resistance, right? Is it a continuation type of setup, or is it a quick trade lotto type of setup? And all of our indicators will really identify that immediately. So as soon as we pull up the chart, we know exactly, is it low quality or high quality? And from there, again, we're adjusting our size. So just being aware of the setup is half the battle, if not more than half the battle.
Myra.
STAI, Scantech AI Systems, to unveil its customs trace AI to pioneer goods verification in shifting tariff landscape. STAI.
Myra.
CDNS Cadence to acquire ARM Artisan Foundation IP. That's Charlie Delta November Sandy. SUNE Sun Nation announcing reverse stock splits and the uniform November Echo. SUNE announcing a reverse stock split, 1 for 200 reverse stock split on SUNE. TGL Treasure Global secures exclusive rights to launch Mesify's coupon platform in Malaysia. That's Tango
TGL.
Golf Lima, TGL.
Ticker TGL getting a pop here. Microflow that was moving this morning. TGL getting a small pop. Getting a small pop on ticker TGL. Microflow moving.
TGL shares moving on that.
This morning on TGL, we'll share another chart here just so it's fresh in chat. Charts in chat for anyone who needs it. TGL, feel free to compare your levels to mine on ticker TGL. Getting a small pop here.
BCTS.
Major red flag spotted.
Moving from this morning on ticker TGL and hit a high this morning of 412.
Manufacturing production plus 0.3% in line with estimate month over month. Industrial production minus 3% versus minus 0.2%.
TGL
month over month for March. Industrial capacity utilization rate 77.8% versus 78 consensus. That's
possible trade.
9:15 data.
Way through $9. Expecting choppy price action on TGL. At this point, needs to close over recent resistance $4 and $4.12 for TGL. And price looks to be exhausted at this time. Doesn't mean it won't continue. Just means that sometimes needs a little breather after that. We'll sit out. No position for myself. We've got about 10 minutes until market open. So for those listening in on YouTube, guys, thank you for joining in. We're doing this. This is a live pre-market session that we do every day in our Discord, Monday through Friday. I'm going over my trades. And not every day is going to be hot, right? This is, I think that's the reality of a day trader, right? Is not every day is going to be hot. And that's the thing about me, guys. You're not going to hear me take, sitting in here and insisting to you that I'm green on every single trade. I'm not green on every trade. I'm not green on every day. That's the truth of it. I'm a real trader. What I do is I stick to a real strategy. I have real consistent results, and I'm fine with that. I'm not looking to overextend my welcome in some of these trades so I get in and out pretty quick. Some traders prefer to be trend traders. I'm more of a scalper myself. I like to scalp the bulk of the move quickly and then hold a lotto in case there's continuation. That's often how I like to trade. But any day could be different. I could come in here and maybe seeing a setup that looks like it's going to be more for more open for scalps, and then another setup maybe more open for trend trading. So it really depends on the setup.
SBEV.
Major red flag
every day,
spotted.
This is what we do Monday through Friday in our Discord. You can find that at bullishboblive.com. And we'll be shutting down the YouTube stream here shortly. But this is a lackluster type of day. And that could carry over into our pre-market session, but that's not always the case. So it could be a good indication of what to expect during the regular market hours. I think a lot of traders are not really getting that the profit that they're looking to achieve.
Find it first, scanner alert.
So I think that in the regular market session, traders might take profit a little bit quicker than normal. So that might create that choppy type of price action just like we have in the pre-market here. So something to consider, but regardless, our scanners, that's our radar. It's going to identify where is the value in the market. Then we pull up the chart, we then mitigate risk, and then it's on us to then stay consistent and disciplined to our strategy. It's a whole recipe for success.
TGL Treasure Global on that
we go over our
press
trades
release, getting
every
a pop top here
live
now.
at voice. This is what I'm doing.
10 minutes until
56
market open.
cents.
High quality,
10 minutes
low quality,
until
Up
market open.
what profit
$1.48.
targets I'm looking for, what entry level I'm looking for. And if you get in on the in the Discord, we also have
Company
indicators available
and
as well. So,
becoming the
something to look
distributor
into if
of
you are,
Mesophi's
interested, reach out at any
platform in Malaysia.
time. TGL is getting a pop here to highs.
That's
at
Tango Golf Lima
365.
continuing here now on
Some
very heavy
TGL
volume
following that news
for
shared in
Treasure
chat.
Global,
That's
TGL.
And this is a micro float on TGL showing on Trade Ideas a 729,000 share float. So something to consider. We'll move fast both up and down on TGL. And price does look exhausted. Again, does not mean it's going to completely pull back, but may need a little breather there. TGL getting a pop to highs 365. Recent highs. The high this morning was 412. So I want to keep that in mind. 412 was the recent high from pre-market. No position for myself at this time. We've got about 9 minutes until market open.
Myra,
And seeing TGL give a little pullback here. And again, doesn't mean that the move is over. I'd like to see it over recent resistance in the pre-market this morning. So we're seeing resistance around 412 this morning was the high in the pre-market session for TGL. This is a micro float with recent resistance through $9. So we'll expect choppy price action. That's on TGL. Setting a few alerts. And no position for myself. MIRA, green on MIRA, red on BCTX, red on SPEV, and really just flat on the day. Guys. Nothing to brag about here. Looking for a high quality setup, seeing lower quality setups, and adjusting my
SPEV,
size and stop levels according. MIRA setting alerts below our key level. Key levels on MIRA to watch today are going to be 143 and 151. If we can close over those key levels, we're looking at continuation. MIRA. We'll keep in mind a couple of red flags here. Started under $1. I treat that as a red flag. That's going to be something where it just instantly is a red flag for me. So that means it's going to be something where I need to mitigate risk by trading smaller size. MIRA starting under $1. We also have a cluster of resistance from 140 to 151. So I want to keep that in mind as well. So a couple red flags there. So if we're trading MIRA over 143 and 151 resistance, I am watching for continuation, but it is going to be a lower quality type of setup, and it will trade smaller size due to those conditions. So just want to keep that in mind and setting alerts around that 140 level to get the heads up beforehand. TGL will be on watch for quick scalps, but will be a lower quality type of setup. I'm expecting choppy price action there. We do have a couple key levels out. BCTX was on the chart this morning and on the scanner this morning. BCTX will be on watch today for continuation. BCTX key level is, let's see, 540 and 550. So if we can get over 540, 550 on BCTX, I'll be watching for continuation trades. I think that's our highest quality look today is BCTX over 550. However, I am seeing some major reds on that chart as well and a few red flags. So again, just not the highest of quality. So we'll trade smaller size if trading BCTX as well. And for those listening in with the, if you have the indicators, if you have the 1 minute bullish pivot pro, just so you're aware, during the pre-market session on the 10-second time frame, I like to have the longer trend setting on that 1 minute bullish pivot pro, and on the during the regular market hours, I like to switch that over to quick trend. So just so you guys are well aware of that, and I'm making a video about that as well. But just so everyone is aware of that, the settings for the 1 minute bullish pivot pro, I change it from quick to long. And I change it to quick in the regular market session and long trades in the pre-market session, just so you guys are aware. We've got 5 minutes until market open. 5 minutes.
NB, NB, NB,
ELEV.
NB.
Stock. ELEV. A
NB,
little pop this morning.
NB, NB, NB,
Ticker NB on the scanners. NB.
NB.
Hitting our scanners. That's ticker NB.
NB,
And seeing this one has a 43 million share float. NB. We'll get a chart in chat. A little bit larger float than I like to trade, guys. NB. Something to consider. Again, just another lower quality type of setup. I know I sound like a broken record, guys, but it's just what we have in front of us, right? This is something I cannot control. NB charts in chat for ticker NB. We'll put a note in chat for the large float there. Showing a 43 million share float. And for me, that will be a red flag. Notes in chat. 4 minutes until market open. And no position for myself at this time. Checking on news for NB. And not seeing any news from this morning for NB. We do have
NB.
broad
Major
market
red
news
flag spotted.
yesterday. We'll share that in chat for NB. News is in chat for ticker NB. No position for myself at this time. Alert set for our key levels. All key levels are listed in our squeeze potential channel here in Discord.
TGL.
Ticker TGL getting a pop. Ticker TGL getting a pop here. 412 is the high this morning. 363 is the current price. That's TGL. Testing near highs 412. That's TGL. They've got about 3 minutes until market open. And guys listening on YouTube, thank you for joining in. We'll be shutting this down. If you guys want to listen in every day, Monday through Friday, when I'm trading in real time, you can find that at bullishboblive.com. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. But we'll be shutting this down in just a couple minutes. And we'll have this live tomorrow as well, guys. It is Wednesday, correct? It is Wednesday. For some reason, I keep thinking it's Thursday. But we will have this going tomorrow as well. So feel free to join in, guys. We'll have it running around 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern time. Depends on what time I get in here. Usually I'm trading in Discord around 7 a.m. So if you want to join in early on and get the real-time alerts and real-time everything, you can have that there. I think YouTube is slightly delayed, guys, so something to consider with the YouTube stream. But just want you guys to have an inside look of how I trade, how I approach trading. A lot of traders ask me how I do this and you know, why I trade the way I do. And the reason I do is I'm more of a technical trader. I'm looking for technical breakouts. So not all trades are going to give us that high quality type setup. Not all trades are going to give us a win, right? There will be losses involved. But just want to keep those as tight as possible. All of our indicators have risk mitigation built into them, and that's going to be number one. Maximizing profits going to be number two. So we always want to focus on risk mitigation, number one. Maximizing profits going to come with our trend indicators. So if you want to maximize that, you can do that as well. But thank you for listening, guys. We'll shut it down on YouTube. And
1 minute to the
we'll
U.S.
focus on our
market
Discord
open.
group, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys.